For those who don't know, I'm in search of a perfect mix that should look like a rainbow. I will go through huge amount of DJs to see if they got what it takes to create a perfect mix. If not, I'll make sure they get better in the future and prove me wrong. Hi, I'm Bassa, and today we're gonna rate 4 DJs. Usually I do 3, but this time will be 4 because one of them is duo. Yeah, 2 girls that play techno. Well, let's greet them and see if their mixes were pristine or absolute garbage. First DJ is John Mig with melodic techno performing in Nature, Portugal. Next is Jad Halal with ethnic house taking it to the next level. And last is Sonaz, 2 girls with melodic techno. Before we begin, I would like you to ask to subscribe to this channel. Thanks, my guy. Right, the things I've noticed in John's set, as the genre, he has this melodic techno, right? He had very promising start. Like, it felt like, oh yes, let's go. This will be awesome, right? What majority of DJs do, they push the start like insanely good. Yeah, it feels like powerful and awesome. And the second track is insta drop. So if you listen to his mix, you will see that he instantly cut down the energy vibe, right? So he had to climb up again, slowly up, but still he couldn't. He showed everyone since the beginning that it was promising start, and the mix was not all that powerful. Yet again, I'll give him a big plus to his mixing skills. I barely could notice the change of tracks, so that's a big plus. He's chosen quite good tracks. Only a few of them were quite soggy, but overall pretty good. At some point he put Afro House. I was like, what? Or it was very similar to Afro House. Anyway, it kind of shifted into a different direction a little bit there. And then he jumped back into the melodic techno. So I don't know about that. If you've seen the graph, it's like a downtrend. It's going down constantly. He had a very strong finish. The peak was right in the middle, like a half 30 minutes. The second track he's chosen, it should have been the last track. Yet again, we don't know if he continued his set, because it felt like it was not finished properly, the whole set. So it feels like that he stayed there for another couple hours to finish his 3-hour set or whatever. I don't know. He could have done it better, but overall I would say not bad at all, because he had powerful tracks. It was decent changes, but he couldn't manage to keep it on an even level. He had to drop slowly. The set could be related as well to the sunset. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that was the whole point. So for choices of tracks, I'll give John 9. Performance 7.5 due to Journey. Journey was it's leaning downwards, yeah. And the mixing skills are pretty well, so I'll give a 9 as well. Pretty awesome. Overall, Johnny, you got 8.5. Not bad, but my only advice would be work on the uptrend mobility. Yeah, try to make it happen. Next is Jad Halal. I called his mix Ethnic Junkie. As you can see in the graph, Jad done a pretty well job just holding it even. More or less it's like flat. Only a couple of tracks were, I don't know, out of balance, but overall pretty good stuff. He peaked very well. It was around almost half of the mix, a bit closer to the beginning, but it was pretty good peak. Nice track, good vibes, pretty good. And Jad is taking to the next level. Why? Because of the drum pad thingy. So he while he was mixing, he performed there a little bit more extra into his own taste, I guess. So that's a big plus. The mix has a nice flow. The journey is very melodic and it's very different from any other mix that you hear. I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, it has this Arabic Mexican vibe, which brings me back to, you know, sunny beaches and all that. So that's cool. The track choices is decent. Like I said, very melodic, interesting, different sounds, makes your brain work. Pretty cool. It could be the strong mix only because it's short. So if he would extend it to an hour, it could be a bit more complicated for him to keep it steady. The shorter the mix, the easier it is to make it good, basically. So like I said, if he would stretch it out to an hour, could be complicated. So as you can see in the graph, it looks pretty good. Like I said, it goes flat mainly. Only maybe sludgy ending. I didn't like kind of the one track before last or something. Didn't quite. It was just different. I didn't enjoy it. So for the tracks, I'll give Jad 9 points. For performance and journey, I'll give Jad 8, only because of that sludgy ending there. And I think it's a bit too short. I would expect a longer mix because it went quite well. So you wanna have a longer mix, like 30 something minutes. It's just not enough. And mixing skills are insane, top notch. I'll give a 10. Massive, huge, solid 10. Plus the drum pad, that's insane. Good job, man. So my only advice would be to Jad Halal is to work on upward mobility to make a mix nice and smooth. And last for today is Sonaz. 2 techno girls. I call their mix techno cats. I don't know why cats. Maybe because they're with nails and stuff. So the mix was the worst from all 3, I gotta say. If we are comparing. So they had a pretty decent, good start. They peaked early, that's what it felt like at least. It was almost right at the beginning. Pretty powerful tracks. Then it escalated downwards. They couldn't recover from the peak since. So we're just lower and lower and lower. You can see by the graph yourself. So overall, the half of the set was pretty awesome. The other half was kind of meh. I don't know, wacky. The big plus for them, they are experimenting crazy. Both of them, they're experimenting with all kinds of things while they go, so that's a big plus. I like that. Their mixing skills are not perfect. I guess is that girl on the right. She's missing the beats. Like it constantly clashes, and I'm like, you know, it's not as nice, enjoyable to listen to. It could be because of its duo. Yeah, they're next to each other. But if you have a synergy, then you might as well, you know, practice to the fullest. You know, you should read each other's minds. So another minus is their keep losing gain. So the previous track is more powerful than the next one. So all you need to do is put the master volume a bit higher on one of the tracks, whichever is the lower, has a lower gain, and maintain that level, which they didn't. So it was very wacky mixing, I would say. The journey was pretty good, a part of the downtrend graph. Otherwise, it was interesting. One plus, that tracks that they've chosen, they had very interesting acidic sounds. So it constantly gives you the mind-boggling feeling. Whoa. It felt like they stayed for another hour or two because the set is not quite finished. I wouldn't end it with that track because the track was more powerful than the previous one, if you listen to the last track. So it felt like they didn't finish. It was a spontaneous set or something. I don't know. So for track choices of tracks, I'll give them 9. For performance and journey, I'll give 7.5. Just because halfway it got boring. So it drastically like shifted to a different, not style, just the journey itself. Although the last track was very nice, it didn't recover that half of the journey, so it didn't make me feel any better about the mix. And the mixing skills, I'll give 5. I'm sorry, only because it's 2 of you, right? So I'll give you one girl 2.5 and the other girl 2.5. Sorry, ladies, but I think 2 minds is better than 1, so you should have been on top of this. Instead of 5, you should have had 10, 5 each, if that makes sense. So overall, you got 7.1, which is not bad. It's pretty decent. Decent score for 2 girls. A couple advices I'll give you. Practice more with the beat matching. That's a must. You must to have beat on beat once you mix. And of course, work on your uptrend mobility because the whole mix went down from a very strong start to the bottom. So that was the rating of those 3 sets, and the question still remains, will I listen any of those mixes? John Mig? No. Jad Halal? Definite yes. And Sonaz? I don't think so. So that is it for today. If you like what you've seen, please put a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below because I need to know what you guys think. Am I too rough? Am I strict? Am I correct? Let me know. As we all hear music in a different way, I'm pretty sure we can find a common ground. Yours truly, Boss Alive. Love you all. Take care of each other. Have a good night. Ciao.